Hi, everybody. Wishing you a very good evening and a warm welcome. I'm Nishita Esrani, and I'm going to be taking you through the webinar today on innovative teaching practice. So I welcome you all, and it's a pleasure having you. And I'm going to be taking you through everything that is related to this course. And of course, you will be getting a participation certificate at the end of this. So I will be sharing with you the link, and please make sure that you would be clicking on that and moving ahead with that, right? So with that, let's get started and a warm welcome to all of you. If there are any questions, I'll be very happy to take them at the end. So please do allow me to finish through my deck and all the important points, and very happy to have a Q&A at the end. Okay. So with that, good evening and let's get started. So, a warm welcome to you from Up Educators. I will start with a few slides about introducing you to our company and about what we do. But let me first start with, something that will definitely is an important aspect when you're doing a course with anybody. That what are the academic partnerships? Who are the companies with who endorse our courses or who even actually give the certificate. So we are a Google for Education partner. We also are a Microsoft certified exam partner, which means when you do the course with us and you take that test, your certificate will be coming from these very, very credible organizations. We also conduct courses for Cambridge, CIE, and our courses are certified by them. As far as international partnerships are concerned, STEM.org and AT are the ones who award certificates. In fact, this course, Innovative Teaching Practice, for which you are attending the webinar, is certified and is graded a certificate from AT, which is a UK-based organization. And on the Indian or the government front, MEPSC, Skill India, some of our courses have a certification that comes from them, right? So definitely when you do a course with us, you can be sure that it is recognized. That's a very important question. And it is also it is accepted all over the world because it's a universal course, right? So a little bit about Up Educators. What do we do? We are India's leading institute, and what we offer are these live instructor-led training courses, right? And our mission really is to equip educators such as yourself, administrators, maybe even people who are, in institutions to teach using 21st century pedagogy. Very important is AI tools, artificial intelligence tool, to know which ones to use them responsibly, innovative teaching practices, and digital tools. And the whole intention of for you to equip you or upskill you really is that you will enhance the learning experiences and subsequently the learning outcomes for your students and of course for yourself as a professional. Okay, so that's something about that. Until now we have trained 25,000 teachers from 9,000 plus schools and colleges. And as you can see up on the screen, that these are schools from all the boards, CBSE, State Board, ICSC, IB, Cambridge, right? So obviously what you will learn in this course, Innovative Teaching Practice, along with the AI tools, along with the digital tools, is going to equip you to improve and to really elevate your teaching practice. We also are very big on social media, more from the academic or the community perspective. So I would also urge you to join us on these platforms. One of the things that we do, and which is a fantastic endeavor, that apart from the classes that we conduct for the topics, and I'll take you through the course material, we also invite expert voices in education. These are all national teacher awardees from a range of subjects, and on different topics we have master classes, and we will be also sharing an invitation for you. And of course, these are optional, but they're really great learning, and I'm sure you will be learning a lot, right? I'm also happy to share that two of the teachers who did the course from us have won the National Teaching Awards And you can see this is our president awarding the certificate to them because of the innovative, pedagogies they use, the AI tools and the tech tools. Okay. Now, one of the very important ways that in today's day and age, we know if some place or some course or some service is actually credible or is reviews, Google reviews, right? So I'm very happy to share that we have a 4.9 out of 5, which is like as good as it can get, rated by 3,000 plus educators, right? We do that. Now, another thing that we have taken up because we believe in best practices is we conduct the International Teachers Olympiad. And it is an annual event. So there is, of course, subject wise, I will take you through that. And until now, we've had 25,000 plus teachers who have participated. And once again, once you are on our database, we will also be sharing this with you, the invitation, and you can, of course, participate. Right? And the good news is that this Olympiad is held in a category. Like there are different categories. So you can, of course, decide what works best for you, right? So we have different categories like we have the Primary Teachers Olympiad, the English Olympiad, Science Olympiad, Pre-Primary Olympiad, Math Olympiad, and Digital Olympiad. So, of course, we'll be sharing the invite with you and you can, of course, participate and we wish you the best for that. Now these, because they showcase, teachers across India, across the world, they're also covered by media. And I think it's a great opportunity for you to participate and to be part of this great endeavor. Okay. Something which is absolutely outstanding, and I'm going to be showing you many, many exemplars and samples of that demo of that, is that Up Educators as a company we have introduced India's first AI platform for educators, right? I know that we all are using Chat GPT and Gemini and Grok, right? But at the same time, this has been curated with the tabs, and I'll again take you through that. So this is going to empower you to teach smarter. We have to use AI, but we have to use it responsibly, right? And we also don't want to waste too much time in finding out information and then making it into a lesson plan. So on this website, which you will have access to for 1 year as part of the course, you will be able to do all these activities and much more. And the good news is that you can use you can, activate the subject wise tool, like what, supposing you're teaching mathematics, you can say lesson plan for mathematics, mention the class, mention which board it is, so that it will be a very specific lesson plan or a curriculum plan or a quiz, anything that you have to do. Okay. So this is going to really like equip you, and upeducators.ai is the platform and you will be getting access to it. Currently, if you try to just log into that, you will be able to see the page, the landing page, but you need access rights to that. So we will be providing that to you. Okay. Also, as part of this qualification or this innovative teaching practice, we also offer you the technology classes. And until now, we've had 2,000 plus educators who have become Google and Microsoft certified educators, right? So that was just a quick overview of Up Educators. Now let's dive into what you are all here to attend. You're all here to attend the Innovative Teaching Practice webinar. And today I'm going to be taking you through some key 4 points. I'm going to be talking to you about why do you need to do this course? Why do you need to upskill yourself, update yourself, upgrade yourself? Why do we need to do that? So what are the challenges that we are facing? And what are the opportunities if you decide to upgrade yourself? Okay. And we're also going to talk about, the learners that we have currently are an alpha, something called generation alpha. So we'll talk about who they are, what their requirements are, right? We'll also talk about that because everything is changing right now, even the stakeholders, that means schools, governments, parents, have a very different expectation and want the teacher to be very, very upgraded, upskilled, and have the latest research based understanding. So we'll talk about a little bit about that. And of course, I'm going to take you through the course content, the fees, the training schedule, and of course, everything else. And once again, like I mentioned, I'm going to be sharing the link with you at the end that will provide you the webinar certificate. as well as if you wish to sign up for the course, you will be getting a special offer. So please do stay until the end. Like I mentioned, I will be sharing the link with you. You will be getting a participation certificate at the end of the webinar, and it will come to you literally in 5 to 10 minutes. You just have to click on it, fill up the details, and in your inbox, maybe the spam box, you'll have to check, you will be receiving this certificate. Okay, yeah. So let's dive in now that we've kind of got all the logistics out of the way. Let's talk about what are the current challenges that are being faced by educators, and why is it that they need to do a course which will make them more innovative, right? So currently, what's happening is that because of the kind of curriculum or the kind of pressures from school and from workplaces, teachers are finding a big burnout situation, right? They're finding very hard to balance work life because there's so much more documentation that you're required to do. On the other side, while that is really a big pressure point, and we're always correcting something, checking something, organizing something, putting our all these marks together, and so much of data crunching. I think a teaching job is not just teaching; it's a lot of admin also, right? The other problem we are facing, that in the classroom we have such a diversity of learners that we are finding engagement, how to keep them all different students engaged, also a challenge. And of course, teachers, I always complain about getting low salaries as a teacher. So we always want to do something that puts us in the highest or the best bracket, or it's like, a steady path. So I think that's the challenges we are facing. But we have to also think about that, why are we facing these challenges? Is it that something that we need to upskill, something that we need to do? So a lot of us have probably done a B.Ed or an M.Ed or a postgraduate diploma, but that is now obsolete. Like a B.Ed is a very good qualification. A lot of CBSE schools, ICSE schools require you, but it is now outdated because there have been exponential changes, especially in the last 5 years. You would all agree that since COVID, we are using a lot more technology. Schools expect you to know all the apps, all the learnings, know how to, check students' assignment for any chat, they copy paste, right? Students are just copy pasting. So as a result of that, we have spent very little time in upskilling ourselves. And that is a reason why we are not able to, maybe get that kind of salaries or those kind of jobs, because we are not constantly updating ourselves, right? Another thing that's also very important that has changed in all our lives is that now we are teaching a generation that is very different from the way we were taught. We were taught in a very didactic way. The teacher said something, you wrote it down, you barely rose up your hand, and you're scared to even ask too many questions, right? And so it that was them, that was us. Now this generation, and I'm sure you are aware of what is generation. So every 14 years is considered to be a generation. And currently, the generation who are in our classrooms are students who are born from 2010. We are in 2025 now, right? So those are there anyway from, I mean, the 2025 onwards is beat up. So, but nobody, a 1 year old kid is not going to come to school, right? So children who are up to 14 years are in our classroom, and they are called Gen Alpha. Another word for them is digital natives. Okay, they when they grew up in 2010, there was already mobile phones, there was already people clicking their pictures, right? And as a result of that, this generation loves technology. They are literally wired. It's an umbilical cord to them. Even to me, actually, I would be very stressed out of my phone. I couldn't see my phone somewhere, right? So the thing is that this generation prefers digital learning, digital platforms, right? That's their preference. And another thing is that because the world has changed so much, people have moved, people are living, working in different cities and different countries. We have a big diversity of learners, right? Of course, students have different learning styles. Some are visual, some are auditory, some are kinesthetic, some are reading and writing learners, right? So these are different styles. Then students are in our classrooms are coming from different states, different countries. They speak different mother tongues, and when they come, we have to think of how to cater to them. I've had children who are from Korea, Japan, Spain in my classroom. So I'm also dealing with different cultures. Now, thanks to the NEP, National Education Policy, and the Right to Education, RTE, We also now have students from different socio-economic backgrounds. And that's a very good thing, but they may come at a different level of understanding. And we have to really make them catch up with the classroom, right? And of course, RTE, the ability and diversity. So as a teacher, not only you have to cater to Gen Alpha, digital natives, you also have to cater to diverse learners. Okay. And another problem you may have heard is called the instant gratification. They have a very short attention span. They want quick, okay, now I've seen a reel, now I've seen this. What's next? What's next? So they don't focus for very long. So we also have to plan smartly for them using everything, tech tools, experiential learning, so many strategies that you have to use, right? Pick up your phone. I can guarantee you that the apps in your phone are different from the apps in my phone. So all of us want personalization, right? You want what I like. I'm into yoga. I'm into walking. So I have like walkers, trackers, everything. Somebody else may be into something else. They may be into horse racing. They may be into maybe meditation. So they have those apps. Similarly, Gen Alpha also expects that now when you plan for them, you are able to personalize experiences for them, even if it's not that they have a tabby. Even if it's a book, you should know which reading material to give them. You know their levels, right? And of course, when we talk about school, how can you forget parents, right? Because the parents are sending students and paying such high fees, they also only fair that they have high expectations from the school, from the teachers, from the curriculum, from the students, right? So parents nowadays don't just want that the children should get full marks or high marks. They also want that you should provide a very good supportive environment, nurturing environment. You should be very communicative. The school, sending emails, sending newsletters, sending app based, sending pictures. They want you that you should also impart 21st century skills. Okay. Those are soft skills. They are skills that help us to cope with change, creative. They help us to be creative, help us to be communicative, collaborative, critical thinking, right? And teachers and parents want that teachers should know the strengths and the weaknesses, give individual attention, and be very caring, right? So we also don't have to just look after the children, we also have to deal with parents. Okay. And another very important thing, thanks to POXO, thanks to students' rights, thanks to human rights, thanks to children's right, we have to discipline using positive reinforcement. We cannot scold children, we cannot hit children, we cannot use any kind of corporal punishment. I remember when I was in school, the naughty boys used to get beaten up with a cane. You cannot do that anymore, right? Or girls also, for that matter, right? Or you would get knuckled out or whatever. So we also have found that since the last 5-10 years, since COVID, there's a lot of psychological issues because of these COVID babies or COVID, right? So we also have to be a counselor to the children. So it's not just teaching, it's not just parents. Also, we have to be able to deal with psychological issues, right? So what it means is that we cannot teach this generation alpha the way we learned or maybe old methods, right? We have to now think what are the opportunities for us, what are the opportunities for teachers, right? Right now we are well aware that the number of international schools or schools across India and everywhere have really catapulted. Parents are willing to spend huge amounts on quality education. There are so many more international schools, premium schools, right? And also that as teachers, because of the internet, because of the online, you can also be an online teacher. You don't have to be a school teacher, right? So that's something. Sorry, I'm just going to mute everybody so that we don't disturb each other. Yeah. Okay. So for teachers, we know that we are looking at a very good opportunity. Okay. But what are schools looking at? What is the new profile of the teachers? Okay. Schools are now looking for teachers not only with a B.Ed or a M.Ed or a MPhil, whatever. They're looking for teachers with a growth mindset who will nurture the students, who believe in students. Teachers who are student centered, that means they focus on the needs of the students. They're very, very hyper focused on them, right? Of course, teachers who are comfortable with technology and AI, what tools to use, how to, get be familiar with tools, right? Also, schools are looking for teachers who have very good subject matter, what we call as subject expertise. who use modern teaching methods and have a very positive way of motivating students. Teachers who are not only looking at assessment, final exams, board exams, but who are looking at the holistic development. It's called competency based. Even the CBSE uses comprehensive and continuous evaluation, CCE, correct? And also teachers who are very good with managing organizational planning abilities, because school is not only about a class, it's about so many events, so many other things that happen, right? And also teachers who are willing to engage in professional development at school and outside school. Okay. And now we know, like Mumbai has had such heavy rains, schools have been closed. So there are online classes. So teachers should also be flexible, comfortable with technology, willing to adapt. Okay. So that's what's happened. Apart from what schools expect, even organizations like NEP, National Education Policy, which is a government, policy released in 2020, and even worldwide organizations like UNESCO, they recommend that modern teaching should be based on research. Teachers should be using tech integration whether you have a smart board, students have an iPad, but you have to use technology in an optimized manner, effective manner, right? They also recommend that teachers should not just develop academic skills, they should also develop 21st century skills, right? And who will use innovative, pedagogies like inquiry-based learning, project-based learning for collaboration, who also plan experiential learnings for the students, and who look at assessment as a very continuous journey, assess formative and summative, right? And who are just not teaching, but also managing and motivating classroom. So definitely the definition of a teacher just teaching a topic has really changed to you being a well-informed individual. Okay. Now, obviously, to overcome the challenges that we are facing with the diverse learners, with the low salaries, with the workload, with the burnout, and to cater to the needs of these alpha generation, and of course, the stakeholders' expectations, and to teach at these schools, we need to upgrade. Okay, so this course is called Professional Certificate in Innovative Teaching Practices, and this course is three-pronged. That means you will be equipping yourself in three main areas. One is, of course, innovative teaching practices, technological tools, and AI tools. And like I mentioned, that you will be getting a certificate from AT and another one from Microsoft and another one from AT. Okay. So like I mentioned to you that this course has a three-pronged approach. That means you will be learning these three topics, big topics: innovative teaching practice, technological tools, and AI tools. Okay, so there's a lot of you will not only learn a pedagogical topic, but you will learn to apply it using tech tools. Okay, so now I'm going to take you in the next section, which is about what are the topics. You'll be okay, Miss Nishita. I'd really like to know what are going to be the topics. What kind of topics are you going to be teaching in this, right? So whatever topics we have are all research-based practices. A lot of you may be familiar with this kind of thought process that was used, where there was a particular learning styles that schools used to plan curriculum according to the different learning styles. Like some learners are visual, so you plan a lot of in charts, infographics, visual aids. Some learners we believe are auditory, they learn best by hearing. So we make sure that we have a lot of podcast, verbal instruction, discussion. Some learners are kinesthetic, they learn by doing, role play scenario, and of course, some by reading and writing. For a long time, schools believed that that was the best way to plan curriculum. But you know that there's a new research done by the Swansea University that says that using this WARC learning style is not only not effective, but it can be harmful. Okay. So what they believe is that people are not only visual or auditory or kinesthetic or reading. They are a mixture of this all, right? And when we plan a curriculum that is only based on this, we will start stereotyping our children that, okay, I can see that we have so many people here. Okay, these five children are visual. The other five are auditory, the others are kinesthetic. Then we also as teachers will have a lot of workload because we have to plan so many different activities. And it's going to take us a long time to deliver the content, right? And in real life, we know when we are making a presentation, it has to be very impressive for everything. The sound, the font has to be good, the sounds have to be correct, and the presentation has to be good. Okay. So another research-based, finding that we use is that when you use, if you want to enhance student attention, that means you want that your children should remember the concept that you have taught them. They are thorough. They have a deep knowledge. They have good conceptual understanding to use analogies. Okay. So the first thing is, what are analogies? The first question is, okay, fair question. What's analogies? Okay. So analogies of obviously, it's a comparison between two different things to highlight a similarity. Okay, so let me give you an example so you understand it. Okay, so supposing you are a science teacher or an EVS teacher and you're teaching your students about the circulatory system in the body. Okay, that's your heart, your arteries, your veins, your capillaries, right? So instead of just showing them a diagram and drawing a picture or showing them maybe an image or a PPT, if you compare the circulatory system to something which is very different, which is like the city's transport system, right? And you discuss that, like you say, okay, just the way you have a heart, there is a bus station. Just the way there are highways, arteries. Just the way there are return routes, it's the ways. Local roads are capillaries, right? So you give them this example, right? What happens when you do that? Okay, so there was a research that was done by University of Michigan on in cognitive psychology, and they had some really amazing research that was done. They said that when teachers, they taught using no analogies, means if I'm telling you about the circulation system, I show you the diagram of the heart, the veins, the arteries, the capillaries, and I say, okay, very nice. When the students had to solve a problem, 18% were able to do it. Okay, teachers who gave one analogy, that means one example like I gave you, the students' recall or ability was 29%. Okay. But teachers, when they shared the topic using two analogies, the number went up to 52,000. Isn't that just like mind boggling? Amazing, right? That this is how we can create more retention, understanding by doing that, by knowing that this is actually a research has been done and this has been published as a study. Okay. So now you would say, Miss Nishita, you are giving great ideas, but it's a lot of work to be trying to find out what's an analogy, how do I compare it, right? So as I mentioned to you that we have a website which is called upeducators.ai, and in that we have a tab and which you will also have access to where you can generate analogies in seconds. So let me show you. This is AI doing its magic. How can you generate analogies? Supposing so what you need to do is you just need to add your grade level, your class, put the topic, and it will be generated. Just a second. Yeah, there we go. Add your grade level, add your topic, ecosystems, and see, can you see how quickly it's generated the entire document? So this is giving you the different concepts and what analogy you can use. What should you tell your students, right? It's like the script almost. Yeah. And when you access this page, you can copy it, you can download it, and you can also read it aloud, right? So any idea we give you or anything we teach you, we will also show you the technology tool or the AI tool you can use to apply that pedagogical idea. Okay. Another topic that we have is my favorite topic. It is brain's potential, neuroscience, right? How can we use neuroscience to transform teaching and learning? Okay. So as we talked about it, that currently in the classroom with this Gen Alpha, who are digital natives, who have short attention span, we are facing an issue with them focusing. Their attention is very low. Okay. But at the same time, you give these children a video game and they can spend hours and days just playing it. Why? Why is that? Why they, or Instagram or Facebook, or they have so many Snapchat, right? They have so many of these tools that they use, right? Because social media companies, they have understood that when children play games, they are on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're doing videos, making selfies and putting videos, they have something called dopamine, right? So that is a chemical that gets released in the brain, and that is something that keeps the children hooked. Okay, so let's look at an example. Like supposing, I know all of you must be using some social media. So I've opened the chat window. Can you tell me which is the social media that you normally use on a daily basis, or like I use actively? WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, um, Pinterest. Can you just put it? I just want to see like what's the number of people who are using and what's the main thing, right? WhatsApp, Insta, WhatsApp, Threads. Yeah, Threads is another one. Snapchat, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, WhatsApp. Yes, 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 absolutely. I can see all of us are very, very, able users of social media, and we use it very well. And yeah, great, wonderful. Thank you. So good to get all these responses. Yeah. In Insta, FB, WhatsApp, Threads, yeah, so many. Absolutely. Yeah, all of us are using it. Wonderful. Thank you. So what happens when we use social media? Right? When you put a post, when you put a picture, you write something, you share something, you get a reaction, thumbs up, thumbs down, smiley, maybe trolling, maybe some comment, maybe a response, congratulations, well done, whatever. So that when you get a response, that's a reaction to the brain, that is a reward. Okay. And because you are so excited that people are giving you thumbs up, you put more pictures, or you put another reel, or you share another quotation, whatever you may be doing, right? And that's when the addiction pattern begins. Okay. So now as teachers, we can say, oh my God, like, this social media has completely ruined the children. Or you can say, you know what, how can I use the concept of dopamine for user engagement? How can I make my lessons exciting enough, right? Rewarding enough, with achievable goals, that's the excitement children feel when they come to my class, right? So we will be learning how we can create these engaging lesson plans. How can we gamify learning? It's a very big concept. How do we create a positive classroom culture? How do we personalize learning? How can we use a lot of visual and multisensory approach, right? So in our one of our topics, we are going to be learning about the structure of the brain, the cognitive science, how does the brain process information, how do we retain information. We talked about analogy, what are the applications, the strategies we can use, and what are the findings in neuroscience and their implications, right? The third topic that we're going to be looking at is designing an effective lesson plan. And we know as a teacher that is the most important thing. You have to get your paper plan in place. You have to get your time management and your all your resources in place. You have to think of differentiation, you have to think of classroom management, you have to think about your students engagement. There are so many aspects of a lesson plan. Okay. So in this course you will be learning not only how to write a good lesson plan, but also how to structure it using very, very current research methodologies like backward lesson planning, Bloom's taxonomy, which is all about HOTS, higher order thinking skills and lower order thinking skills, how to incorporate or build rather 21st century skills in your lesson plan, what digital tools to use, what pedagogies to use, how to plan that there can be a lot of active engagement or what we call active learning, how to ensure that there is assessment at every phase, CCE, right? Continuous comprehensive evaluation, FASA, we've heard all these words, and how to plan for differentiation. Okay. So we will be learning how to structure a lesson plan, right? And we'll be learning new, or maybe some of you know about this, but new ideas or new research called backward design framework, right? So we all know that when we plan a curriculum, we plan the curriculum, we think about what the learning objectives are, we plan the assessments, and then the learning tasks are designed. But in a backward design approach, you can see in this table here, right? We don't start with teaching, lectures, tests, and memorizing. No, we don't do that, right? We don't do any of this, okay? We don't do this. In backward design, we start with what do we need our learners to know to be able to evidence. How do we know that they know something, right? Supposing I'm learning driving. I'm reading the book and all of that, and I've done the test and I've done perfectly 100%. Will that make me a driver, or do I have to have practical application, right? So the outcome should be I can drive from Bombay to Pune a car with people sitting at the back safely and without having any accident. That's my outcome, right? So in this approach, we plan the deliverables. What can the students be able to do? We have to plan what are the activities we should make them do. What are the projects? What are the authentic tasks? If I want to be a driver, just ratta lagawing the book is not going to make me a driver. I need to drive the car. I need to go on the road. I need to go on the street. I need to go in a crowded place. I need to go in a highway. Then I will be doing that, right? So that's the whole concept of backward design, right? We also will be having a module, a topic on Bloom's taxonomy. And this is, very, very important because it is building the higher order thinking skills. And this is one of our participants, and she talks about how this has helped her.
Helpful, and for the first time I started loving Bloom's taxonomy, as I had said before as well, because I was like, "Kyun banaya? Kaun hai Bloom?" So now, and the thing is, it got. I mean, I understood that at the right time. At present, we are focusing on that Bloom's taxonomy even while making plans and everything. So just because you all made us understood that in such a beautiful way, so now I can implement it and I can even share the same thing with others. Likewise, the other things that you all have taught so far, I have things at the back of my mind. Monday onwards, regular class will start, so I am definitely going to implement that. So the thing is, it has become my task. I made my task easier. So I really enjoy right now.
Right. So she talked about how this has really helped her.
Helpful and
Yeah. We will also be learning, how to plan when we plan a lesson, not just to be teaching them a topic, but we'll also be teaching you how to integrate 21st century learning design and how we can plan that our lesson should have collaboration. How can we incorporate communication in our lessons? Knowledge construction, that's not what you are giving them, it's what they are understanding. How can we ensure that students are self-regulated, they're responsible? How can we plan lessons that have a real world problem in them, right? Like now, I don't know how many of you who have joined this are from Bombay, and I'm sure that you all are still dealing with the problem of the heavy rains, right? So it's a real world problem. Whenever you go out in the street, there is so much of garbage, there must be so much of water, there must so if if we are teaching children something and we talk about these topics which are real world, they will also think of how can we prevent this in future. How can we prevent flooding in Mumbai? How can we prevent maybe drying of lakes in another city, right? So that's really important that this is really well taken care of as far as lesson planning is concerned. Okay. We'll also be teaching you many innovative teaching methods to enhance learning outcomes, right? And some of the approaches, there are just some, there are so many more, are going to be you're going to learn game based learning. How do we make a lesson plan into a gamified form so that we can check, we can reinforce learning, we can check if students have learned. We have a module on project based learning. Inquiry based learning is another very important topic. Integrated or thematic based learning. So the NEP, that's the National Education Policy, they talk about integrated or thematic learning. So you'll be learning how to do that. And of course, flipped learning. That's also a very new, not a new, it's a very important concept. Okay. So let's talk about, what is a flipped classroom? So in a typical classroom, the teacher comes to class, the children come, they're all sitting nicely. The teacher gives a lecture, explains the topic, and the children go home and do the homework, right? That's the way it goes. But in a flipped classroom, it's very different. The teacher sends some resources, could be a lecture, could be some reading, and students responsibly go through that. And when they come to class, they are actually, the teacher can check if they have understood something, right? And why are we using flipped learning these days? Because earlier there was only classroom teaching, but now we have different sources like video games, websites, readings. We can send so many things to the students, right? So when they read that and when they come to the classroom, we can focus on higher order thinking tasks like collaboration, right? We can make them communicate. We can also personalize learning. And most importantly, these days when you give homework to children, what do? Straight away put it in chat GPT and put a AI answer, right? So that way when they come to class, you can also check if they have understood rather than just copy paste it and come to classrooms. Okay. So that's something, that's why flipped learning has become a concept. Okay. Now, obviously, once again, you will say, Mr. Tisha, thank you for a great idea, but it will take a lot of time to plan a flip lesson. So how do I do that? And once again, I will say that, that when we give you a strategy, we will also give you a tool, which is this tool. This is on, again, on our upeducators.ai website, how to create a flipped classroom lesson plan. And let's see the demo. Once again, you have to choose your grade level, put your topic or your LOs, learning objectives, and this will instantly the materials, pre-classroom activities, in-classroom activities, and minute by minute, this is giving you a lesson plan, flipped lesson, post-class activity, assessment criteria, extended activity, reflection, home learning tasks. And once again, you can copy this, you can download this, you can also read, and you can also give some follow-up questions. If you have some more questions that you would like to incorporate into your lesson plan, this is a full lesson plan. So this is really, I would say, for teachers, we have to learn these tools. There's no choice. Okay. So in this course, you will be learning the best practices of innovative teaching practices. And like I mentioned, that we will also be inviting you to participate in the Olympiads. Okay. Now, thanks to the fact that we have conducted so many Olympiads, we also have the resource of these videos that will help you to understand the best practices. Let's see one of them.
Jai Hind everyone, I am Rashika Agarwal from Sanmeem School Varuna, a teacher of grade 1. I create a magic of learning and positive learning environment outside and inside the classroom and shaping the young minds with curiosity and cognitive thinking for future learning and growth. The topic for today is money. The objectives for money is the child will understand the money as a medium of exchange. They will understand the importance of money and the barter system that was being used earlier. They will be able to count the money by subtraction and addition. They will be able to recognize different notes and coins. They will understand the importance of banks and saving of money. So the lesson will be started with a flip learning video that will be sent a day prior to the children related to barter system. They will be so the lesson will
Right. So we won't see the full video, but we will be sharing these kind of resources with you. We will also be teaching you how to create an active learning environment through an activity-based environment, right? So what happens in a traditional classroom? The teacher gives a lecture, there's some questions at the end, there is silent reading, there's copying of notes, right? But in an active learning environment or where children are actively involved, we have a module on this. We'll be teaching you all these strategies: think, pair, share, round robin, jigsaw activity, gallery walk, QAXP. And I mean, these are just some of them. I'm just giving you an example. So let me tell you that supposing you were teaching the students, you had taught them, finished teaching them the planets, right, that are there, and you're doing a revision session. So instead of you speaking or asking questions, you can actually form students into 6 groups or 7 groups. And in every group, you can have 4 students, right? So one student is the person who will ask a question. The second student, QA, will answer the question. The third student is X student, which is he's going to add an additional information, and P students will paraphrase, right? So you can see that one group will do Jupiter, one will do Mars, one will do Mercury, one will do Venus, right? Then you can ring the bell and then then another group will do Jupiter, another group will do Mars. So that way you get a lot of students are actively learning from each other. You're just playing the role of the facilitator. So we also will be teaching you how to do that. And once again, you will say, okay, great idea, but now it's going to take me so much time to plan this. How do I generate these activities? And again, I would say that on our website, the AI website, this strategy of using active learning we can use AI to generate the different activities. So let's see how it's done. Obviously, you have to add your grade level, pick the topic, add your details, and you can see that such a long list of very interesting activities will be generated for your class. Of course, you can choose whether you want to do one or two or three or four. Well, that's up to you. It's your choice, your classroom, your students. Right. So it's absolutely amazing the kind of, way that AI can support you for generating so many things, right? From active learning to a lesson plan to a flip teaching to the curriculum. All this can be done like literally in a snap of a finger, is what I would say, right? We also have a module on alternative assessments and feedback, right? And in this, you will be learning about the different types of assessment, how you will be able to use rubrics, how to design AI proof assignments, how to give feedback, how to, help parents also to apply the feedback, and how to be able to use teacher and student reflection as well, right? So this is also a very, very, kind of important part of teaching is feedback, right? Now, I know that all of you teachers spend a lot of time checking assignments, right? And AI is also there not only for the students but also for us. And simply by putting up the image, this is obviously an essay written by a student on World Environment Day. Again, on the website, you can just put the image of it. Let's see the demo. Choose the image, add the assignment of the specific child, give your instruction, what kind of feedback you want. And again, in a moment, your feedback is generated. Once again, you can, copy it, you can download it. And as teachers, we have to be using these kind of resources because it takes a lot of time to do checking. And of course, you need to read your students' work, but it's very helpful to have this kind of, very uniform feedback that you can give and, help to improve your children's work, right? We also have a topic or one module on differentiation. And as you would agree that, our exams are very cookie cutter, right? We gave it to the same children. But it's very important that we should differentiate our instruction for the very reason that we were talking about innovation in teaching. Because our classroom has children who are very different needs, different backgrounds, different attention spans, different language abilities, different cultural backgrounds, right? So in this module, you will learn how to differentiate, ways to differentiate. And of course, it all depends on your students, right? So we'll be learning how to differentiate content, process, which is how you teach, content is your topic, and product is, of course, the assessment. Okay. So we'll be having a very detailed module on that. Then let's come to the second aspect, digital competency. Okay. So we will be also teaching you all these topics and more. So you'll be having about 12 classes on digital tools. And you can see there's quite a wide range. And this is not all, there are already, yeah, you will be all these topics will be taught, right? And once again, I think there was a question in the chat window. You will be, for this attending this webinar, you will be getting a certificate and I will be sharing the link for that. Please fill up the link and you will be getting the webinar certificate. Yeah. So thanks for the question. And thanks for the response on that, right? So these are all the tools that you will be learning. There'll be a class for each topic, you will have one class. Okay. So this is taught in very good detail and very good depth, right? I'm just going to take you on, one of the tools. This is the Google tools. This is the Google Earth tool, right? So supposing you're teaching students about monuments. So rather than just showing them some PPTs or a video, you can actually take them on a virtual tour. And this is using Google Earth. Very similar to the GPS that you use, in taxis and in cabs. Okay. So that's something that you can do. Yeah. Also, we will be learning how to create your websites. We'll be teaching you using Google Sites. You can create a portfolio, a student, resource. You can create an event site, right? And let's look at again a demo of, a person who's created an event page, right? Which they can share or they can use that to get people to fill up the Google Forms. Yes, you can really use these tools. I think this is a really fantastic way to share anything about any event or even create a portfolio. Okay. We will be also teaching you how to create interactive presentations, right? So right. So if you're teaching students even about weights, you can get them to do it digitally, right? This can be done in what we call as, not real time, but it can be done in real time, right? Now, the third aspect. So we are going to be teaching you pedagogical tools. We're going to be teaching you digital tools. We're also going to be teaching you 10 plus AI tools for creating teaching resources, right? So, like I was mentioning to you, that we will be giving you access to the upeducators.ai platform. And like I mentioned to you, that there's so many things from lesson plans to curriculums to worksheets to creating a mind map you can do so many activities all using using this particular AI platform. And we'll be teaching you how to use, of course, the AI platform, right? So you can see it's just absolutely amazing the kind of notes that you can get, the details that you can get, the mind maps that you can create. It's just amazing. Okay, yeah. We also have a module, a very interesting module, yeah, on classroom management. So we know that as teachers, we have to understand the psychology of a student. We have to, we will be learning about the ABC method, that is antecedent, behavior, consequence to solve issues. We will be also teaching you how to use technology for classroom management. What are the tools that you can use? How to use some motivational theories such as growth mindset. That's not only for the teachers, right? And also not just how to develop IQ, which is intelligence quotient, but also the EQ, emotional quotient, spiritual quotient, right? All these aspects we will be learning in classroom management, right? So I'm sure you've heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And according to Maslow, who was a psychologist, he says that for children to be able to learn, right? They have to be, their basic needs have to be met. That's the physiological. They have to feel safe in the school. They have to have a sense of belonging with their students and their teachers. They have to have a sense of positive culture. Then they can learn, right? So you will be also learning these kind of hierarchies or these kind of, philosophies that will help you to plan a better classroom. Okay. We also have modules like the growth mindset, and growth mindset is not that you believe in just, giving some good gyan to the children, but also showing them how to be very, very hardworking, to persevere, to be positive. And this will, again, increase student engagement. And of course, the marks will increase in your class, which is very important. We want our students to do well. Okay. We also have a very interesting module on SEL, social emotional learning, right? And we know that in CBSE schools, ICSE schools, IB schools, emotional wellness, life skills, these are very important topics, right? And we will be teaching you even yoga, mindfulness, breathing, right? So in this, we will be teaching you how to integrate this SEL curriculum as part of your lesson plans, right? Because we have to create a safe environment. Okay. We also have a very, very interesting module on digital storytelling. So nowadays, we cannot just tell a good story like by speaking. You have to be using technology. You have to use multimedia, videos, audios, images. And this is a way of teaching. It's not just story, like it's not about Snow White and the seven dwarfs. And it's about how can you make your lesson plan into a story. So we will be teaching you how to use digital tools for doing this, right? So it's called the digital storytelling process. We also have a module on very innovative and very creative thinking. Yeah, we have a question. Can these tools be used? Yes, absolutely, Soumya. I see that. I'll be taking you. So thanks, Reena. Thank you, Soumya, for asking that question. Thanks, Nisha. Basically, I'll be in the next few slides, I'll tell you what are the specific tools. So we do know that that's a question that you will have, right? So design thinking is a very creative way of solving problems in the context of education. So we have a module on that. We also have an employability module where we will help you to generate your resume using AI. What are the questions that can come for an interview, how to prepare for an interview. Okay. And once again, on our website, on the upeducators.ai, you can put in your details and we have a resume generator. I know LinkedIn and all also do it. So you can also do it even if you put it in ChatGPT and Grok, they will help you. But it's a very nice way that you can put your details and you get a very nice, crisp resume, your CV, what we call curriculum vitae, right? Yeah. Okay, now I think a lot of you had this question. I can see it in the chat window. Nisha had it, Soumya had it. Yeah. We also have a question about exams. I'll answer that. Let me just tell you what are the subject-specific apps, since all of you are asking that question, right? For English teachers, I had a question from the language teachers. Soumya asked that. We will teach you how to use apps like Book Creator, Story Jumper, Duolingo, Read Along, ReadWorks, Google Input Tools, Google Translate. There are many more. We just could not put so many things over here, right? If you are a maths teacher, we'll be teaching you how to use apps like GeoGebra, Fed Simulation, gamification apps, Equato, which is very good for mathematical equations, RoboCompass, GeoBoard, Google Earth, and Maps, right? So these are the tools and many more, just a few of them. If you are a science teacher, then we will be teaching you tools like these are all apps, free apps, by the way, nothing, you don't have to pay anything more. Physics Classroom, Chem Collective, Arduino Science, fantastic. Nearpod is a very good 3D model related to scientific topics. FET virtual simulation, right? So these will help you. If you're a social science teacher, I just showed you the Google Earth, right? How to go and see that whole place in real time. Also, how to use timelines, how to use map layouts, 360-degree panoramic views, and that way you will also make the learning very, very, immersive for the learners. Yeah, feedback link will be shared. Yeah, I'll be just sharing that. Now, if you're a preschool teacher, then we will be also teaching you how to use apps like Reading Bear, ABCYA, Story Jumper, Jollyphonics, many more, just a few. Yeah, I have a question I see over here in the chat window about IT or CS teachers. So, Ananya, we will, since you're asking a specific question, for IT teachers, because this is also, you will be also getting the Microsoft, the tools, Google tools, right? So it's Google tools. We'll be teaching you all these specific tools. So if you're an IT teacher or a CS teacher, that will also help you because you will learn much deeper into all those tools. Okay. Now I'll just talk to you a little bit about the mentors for this program. So Miss Manju Borkar, she is our academic head, and she is going to be one of also your mentors. She is a very experienced program leader and a very good tech teacher. So you can see she's got so many qualifications from Google to Microsoft to Nearpod to Wakelet, robotics, coding, STEM. So yeah, she's like really one, major mentor to be having. I'm Nishita Israni. So I've also had great experience with administration, with teacher training, and of course with curriculum development. And I'm a Cambridge mentor, as well as I teach on the innovative teaching practice, as well as I teach on the nursery teachers training, right? So yeah, that's what it is. Miss Aarti as well is one of your mentors. She's also a very, very experienced um, academic teacher as well as a tech teacher. She's been a former head of math department, and she is a certified trainer for digital tools, Google Suite, Canva. She teaches Canva really well. You'll be learning Canva, Edpuzzle, and all these AI powered tools. So she'll be taking you through that. She is also a Cambridge CICTL certified educator, and she's a major expert in all tech integration and digital teaching. Okay. Um, Apart from us, Miss Manju, Miss Aarti, myself, we also have visiting faculty who come in for different, modules. And you have even somebody like Miss Lokpundra, who's actually a TED speaker. She's on storytelling. She conducts a module on storytelling. It's really not the digital storytelling. This is the regular storytelling. Okay. Now you will want to know, and I think you had some questions. What are the certifications? What are the exams? There was a question about exams. Okay, so let me just tell you, for this innovative teaching practice, there is no exam. There are some assignments, 6 assignments that you have to submit, and they're very simple with exemplars. But for this course, you will be getting a certificate from AT UK. This is a UK based organization. Okay, then for the tech tools, which I showed you all of them, Google Earth, Google Sites, all of those, you will be getting a certificate from Microsoft Certified Educator. For this, you have to take a short exam, which is an online exam, and it's got 60 questions. So we'll give you the details about, when is the exam held. Please don't worry. And we will be giving you a third certificate, which is a program completion certificate from Up Educators. So the first certificate was from AT UK, second is from Microsoft, and the third is from Up Educators, right? I'm just going to share the fees in the next slide, not this one. Now, a little bit about this. This is a hands-on training. That means it's live, like the way we're meeting. There will be a mock exam for the digital tools. There will also be doubt-solving sessions, and all the material, whatever we teach, whatever the slides we show you, are going to be on a LMS, on the deck, and you can access them for 1 year. You have access to the deck and you have access to the AI platform, upeducators.ai, right? And these classes are held in the evenings from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And next batch will obviously start in September. I mean, we are in August, so it's going to start soon. Okay. These are the details if you wish to, contact anybody from our team. But I had a question about the fees, so I'm just going to take you to the next slide, which will give you that. So the fee for this course is actually 18,900 plus 18% GST. But as a special offer, and I've just put the link right now in the chat box. So please see the link. Please click on the link. You will be getting the webinar certificate when you do that, as well as if you wish to enroll for the course. This is a special rate that you will be getting of 13,900 plus 18% GST. Okay. So the offer that we are giving you today for the next 2 days, 48 hours, is this course is for 13,900 plus 18% GST. So the actual cost of this course is 18,900, but today's exclusive offer, or you could say for the next 2 days, is this. Okay. Once again, in the chat window, I'm putting the link. This will help you to get your certificate. This will help you to avail the offer, and our coordinators or our counselors will be in touch with you, and they will give you a call, and you can of course speak to them. Okay. So I've shared the link. I just shared it with you. I hope you received that. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, of course, if any of your school would like to have a group demo session, if they want us to organize that for the staff, you can please inform us on Malvika, sorry, at Up Educators or this number 9923460060. Could do that. And I'll just take maybe just 2 minutes more of your time to run you through some other courses that we offer. And of course, if you have any questions you wish to unmute or put on the chat, I'm very happy to answer them. Okay. So apart from the innovative teaching practice, we also offer Google Certified Educator course, Google Trainer course, Microsoft Certified Educator, which you will be getting as part of your innovative teaching practice, online teaching course with Google certification. Yeah, feedback form has just, I'm once again sharing the feedback form. Musarrat is asking the question. I've shared it once again in the chat link. Please do open that. Innovative teaching practice, we just spoke about that for the last 1 hour. We also conduct the CICTL, Cambridge Certificate and Diploma course. The entity, I was just telling you about the nursery teachers training. We have the diploma and we have the PG diploma course. I teach on that as well. We have an advanced AI course for educators, a STEM robotics course, certified STEM teacher, a digital marketing course. If you, especially if you're running a preschool or a tuition center, this would be very beneficial for you. And a coding and AI course for educators and an instructional design course. So of course, if you wish to avail or check out more details, you can go to our website upeducators.com. That will really help you. Okay. And of course, thank you so much for attending this workshop, this webinar, and I really would be very glad to have you with us. It's a really good course, really equips you in AI tools, tech tools, innovative teaching practice. I think we all need this kind of upskilling, right? So, but yeah, please feel free. Any questions, anything that you have? Yeah, thank you, Ms. Soumya. Thank you, Anupama. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I hope it was clear, and I hope you were able to make sense of all the, upskilling that's going to be happening. And yeah, I do look forward to having you all on the course and joining us at Up Educators. It will be a pleasure to have you all. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shoma. Thank you, Rajni. Thank you, Seema. Thank you, Nandita. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Anju. Wish you a good night. Thank you, Sarfaraz.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Anju. Miss Anju. Thank you so much.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night, Miss Shaila. Thank you so much. Wish you a good night.
Same to you. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Shweta. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Shalini. I do look forward to joining the course.
Amazing, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you so
It
much.
was
Thank you,
very
Ms. Shweta.
informative, ma'am. So clearly you have explained everything.
Thank you, Ms. Shaila. Thank you. I really appreciate your feedback.